C.R.W. Nevinson enrolled in the FAU, the Friends Ambulance Unit, when World War I started. He worked on the battlefield, transporting injured and dying British and French soldiers until he fell ill and was discharged in January 1916. A pretty talented artist, he would exhibit La Mitrailleuse, or the machine gun, in March of that same year. And the gunners, are they men? No. They have become machines. They are as rigid and as implacable as their terrible gun. The machine has retaliated by making men in its own image. The crew and the gun are one, equipped for one end, only one: destruction. Horrible, wrote C. Lewis Hind in the Evening News. Mr. Nevinson's mitrailleuse will probably remain the most authoritative and concentrated utterance on the war in the history of painting, said Walter Sickert in the Burlington magazine. This painting was an absolute success and brought Nevinson a new career opportunity. He became a Department of Information official war artist. He would visit the Western Front, witness the atrocities of the war 3 years after it started, and in 1917, he painted this: Paths of Glory. The boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, and all that beauty, all that wealth ever gave, awaits alike the inevitable hour. The paths of glory lead but to the grave. This is a passage of elegy written in a country churchyard by Thomas Gray. The line, "The paths of glory lead but to the grave," is at the origin of the painting's title. 2 dead British soldiers lay face down in the mud, surrounded by barbed wire and wooden poles. It's a grim painting that doesn't need further description or detailing. Nevinson, as a government propagandist, was not allowed to depict dead soldiers, at least not dead French or British soldiers. This is supposed to be war propaganda. Nevinson is supposed to show the bravery of our troops, erect them as heroes, inspire the people of France and other allied nations to keep the war effort strong. But how could Nevinson do any of that when this is what he witnesses on the war front? When the corpses of fellow Brits, many of them younger than him, lay in the mud, tangled in barbed wire. This painting was censored, but that didn't stop Nevinson from exhibiting it. He unrolled a strip of brown paper on top of the corpses and wrote on it, "Censored." If it hasn't been made obvious, World War I was extremely important to Nevinson's career. It made him one of the most popular British artists, but it also profoundly impacted his art. La Mitrailleuse was finished in 1915 and exhibited in 1916, while Paths of Glory was made only a year later in 1917. In 1916, the painting titled A Taube was made, a Taube being a German warplane. In it, you see the corpse of a French child laying face down once again amongst some rubble. Between 1915 and 1917, you see a trend in Nevinson's art. La Mitrailleuse is a heavily stylized cubist, if not futurist, painting. As C. Lewis Hind wrote, the men have become machines, but they have become so through Nevinson's stylization, through the hard angles, the contrasted colors, the harsh reflections. In A Taube, remnants of futurist stylization can still be seen perhaps in the rubble and the setting, but the boy's corpse is represented completely naturalistically. Finally, Paths of Glory could have been made by a completely different artist than La Mitrailleuse. It's still stylized. I'm completely entranced by the fine chaotic lines, scribbles, depicting the thin chaos of barbed wire. However, this stylization is perhaps more suited to war and its atrocities than the one he used in La Mitrailleuse. I guess it's cliché to use the popular saying on the internet that war never changes, but men do. But what we have here is an artist whose very art changed because of war. You see the traces of that change Through his work, you see his sensibilities change, his outlook on war change. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Axel, Roman Brandel, X Towns, Jonathan, and all my other patrons for supporting the channel. If you also want to help out, leave a like, subscribe, and check out patreon.com/thecanvas. Thank you.